And a high fly ball, center field. He hit it a ton. It's gone.
Golf tournament silence.
Welcome back to Reds Talk. This is episode 15.
Reds Talk.
High Sox, Reds Talk, low IQ, High Sox. I didn't think everything.
Same thing.
John, Ben, Mitch, we are talking some Reds baseball, baby.
You got that right.
And
All Reds all the time. Bring it back to you, Mitch.
What are we talking about here? How you guys doing?
Doing good. Had a packed weekend full of things.
Okay.
Reds had a packed weekend full of things.
Okay.
You want me to talk about my weekend?
What is this?
Was that cutie peel?
Yeah.
Little cutie over there?
Clementine.
Okay.
I see a little cutie, and then I see you holding something, Mitch.
Oh!
Look at this little number.
That's nice. Have that on there for the rest of the episode if you could.
All right, cool. Here,
Yeah.
Can you hear me just as well?
You can just put it on top of it, not where you speak into. There you go. Give the viewers something to look at.
Yeah, for the non-Spotify listeners.
We're not on Spotify yet.
It smells. I can't do
We're
this.
not?
It's too
No,
effervescent.
we're not.
We're not on. We have never been on Spotify, bro.
What the fuck?
I think we will someday. All we have to do is set up like a feed.
We should probably
upload
get
it.
I got cat hair on this.
the fans should vote in the comments section, like if they want us to be on Spotify.
But I think we should only be on one. If there's Spotify, there's Apple Music, Pandora, we can throw that one in there. I'm sure you can get stuff on Pandora. Why not? iHeartRadio, Sirius XM, but you can only choose one. Choose one, and that's the only one that will ever be on.
Rhapsody.
LimeWire.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You can the only torrentable podcast.
That's our motive. That's our dedication to you guys. You can torrent us all you want.
That's right.
You can act like this is your podcast. You can download it and you can just say, "Yeah, I did this. I made this."
Yeah, and then you can like fake people out by saying like, "Oh no, this is Chumbawamba," and then no, it's just High Sox Reds podcast. And like, damn it, they got me again. They wanted Chumbawamba.
When does this scenario happen? Are they in the car and they're like on Bluetooth and they're like, "Hey, I got this cool song coming up," and it's just this podcast talking about the Reds, and then he's like, "Wait a minute, I thought this was Chumbawamba."
Yeah, hold on, it doesn't sound familiar yet. The intro's playing. You hear Ben saying "golf tournament silence."
He loves to say that.
Hold on,
I love that. I love Don Sadak.
Golf. Don't say it like that. You're being so sarcastic and it's pissing me off, dude.
We love John Sadak.
He
are
like,
fans.
he doesn't like John Sadak.
He likes John Sadak. He's just saying that he likes the calls of Tom Brenneman more.
Yeah, I do.
He wants to
That's
eat.
all.
He wants to drink a water with Tom Brenneman.
Yeah.
A nice glass of clear.
What if Tom Brenneman showed up on the lower right quadrant? Or I guess if this is going on YouTube, it'd be like another box comes in and it's just Tom Brenneman. What would you do? What would you say?
What would I say to him if he like just showed up?
What if he just? This is what he does when he comes into the podcast.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
oh, doctor.
Oh, doctor.
I would ask
I
was just gonna say I'd ask him what went through his mind when he did the Keno home run call with the.
I thought you were gonna say what went through his mind when he said the F slur on TV.
We're past
I think I know what he was thinking about there. I think it's pretty obvious.
He didn't do this. He didn't do
What
that.
did he do?
I think he
There's
must
no
have.
way he did that.
That's the only way it's possible.
I think he did. I think he trilled his voice or something. Like,
No, I can't.
So cute. I don't
A
know.
king.
I did not see him going like, "Oh, this is
Well, that would be my question too. Then, if
right.
this is an open invitation, Tom Brenneman, come on, clear the air. You know, you can make another apology tour if you want to. But really, we just want to know what was going on during that call, and also
It's an iconic call.
all the doctor business. Oh yeah, of course. There's a hidden video out there that me and Ben did almost 2 years ago. Ben, that video that we made came out almost 2 years ago
The Shane
in
Spencer
July.
one?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I'll maybe we'll post that on our YouTube channel at some point as a classic throwback to.
Oh, you're talking about the Jeter throw?
Yeah, we made a video.
No,
play?
not the Jeter
It's-
throw.
The
The
flip
Shane
play.
Spencer
Mhm.
throw.
What is commonly known as the Jeter flip play, but we really broke it down, or Ben really broke it down, and really shouted out the true hero of that play, Shane
The
Spencer.
unsung hero.
That's right.
Bro couldn't even throw a ball if his life depended on it, bro.
He threw a dart
A dart
right
is
where it needed to go. No.
They didn't have StatCast back then, so they weren't tracking the speed of the throw from the outfield.
That's the most
Well,
important part of the broadcast nowadays.
I
is-
know that you like that. You
Getting-
say you always love that.
Yeah, I do love that. It really changed the game.
How do you
I
feel?
got-
How do you feel when they say Ellie De La Cruz threw that ball 98 miles per hour to first base?
No, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
I thought you said you loved it.
No, I was being sarcastic.
He's
You're
being facetious.
You're being fastidious.
He's being fastidious over there. Well, you don't think
No,
it's a
it's
cool
like-
thing when it's like, oh wow, like 98. That's fast for a fastball from a pitcher, not from a shortstop to first base. Like that's.
But why does it matter? He could have thrown it 85 and still gotten him out.
It just
Not all
means
the
you can be a
time.
relief pitcher someday. That's all.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just unnecessary. Like
I want a StatCast on how fast my poop leaves my butt.
Is this where we're at right now?
Jesus,
This is where we
already
are.
we've been on air for 5 minutes.
We're never getting on Sirius XM at this rate. This is never-
Howard Stern is on Sirius XM. I'm pretty sure we can make
That's
it.
true. Yeah, if Howard Stern can do it, then we can do it.
Come on.
That is true.
Come on. StatCast my butt, please. MLB.
MLB. We have listen, we have open
That's
communications
my
to anyone we
laws.
want.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we
We're
can
not
do that.
being
We can make that
beholden to
happen.
advertisers. By the way, this is a DraftKings read. Get your DraftKings first $5
Shut the
bet
fuck up,
goes to
shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up,
free
shut the fuck up,
bets.
shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up.
DraftKings fans win or whatever they say.
Mhm.
That was a
I
real
love
read, by the way.
I love when they make like the betting ads. They make it act like you're the star of your own movie. It's like, oh, camera's on you. Everyone's waiting to see what you're gonna make a bet on. And it's just, Jamie Foxx just saying, bet $5 on this,
I think
I
so much
parlay.
less of Jamie Foxx for doing these ads. Like,
Oh,
dude, what do you need to do? I know it's a lot of money for him, but my
Mhm.
man, you're good. You're good. You don't need to be doing this.
Well, remember like a couple years ago, all those football players were doing ads for cryptocurrencies. Big ones too. Like Tom Brady did it. I think like some famous actor, I can't think of his name, Ben Affleck did it. And they're just like, oh yeah, payday for me, whatever.
Don't
I'll
forget
sell
the
whatever the
umpires
fuck.
wearing the FTX
Oh yeah,
uniforms, and then they went bankrupt and went to the Supreme Court for like fraud or whatever.
yeah. That guy's in jail now.
Yeah, he's in jail. Yeah, the FTX
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, he's in
Mhm.
jail. Big time jail guy. Yeah,
Big time
loves
jail guy.
Yeah,
That's right.
I was gonna say something about. Oh yeah, you know how Zoran won the Democratic primary in New York.
That's right.
Let's
Yeah.
get into the weeds a little bit, but there's like a betting service for politics specifically,
Mm.
which I think is the most dystopian type of shit ever, because it's like like it's so meaningful these days to like be politically, active or to I don't know. I don't want to soapbox or anything, but it's just weird that you'd be like, it's called Cashy, I think. And you go on there and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm putting $250 on Zoran, or I'm putting $250 on Andrew Cuomo to win the primary. It's bizarre.
I feel like that should be illegal at some point.
It should be. Ben dropped a bunch of money on Zoran, I think.
Yeah, he made out like a bandit.
Yeah, he did.
I'm going to be honest. This is the first time I've heard that name in my life. No idea who you're talking about.
Are you saying that you don't read all of our chats?
Yeah, dude, we were talking about this in the group.
We were talking about Big Z.
Hey, what is this?
That's an orange peel holder.
Okay.
Listen, we gotta talk about it at some point.
All right. Yeah,
Mitch is eating oranges now. Okay, Mitch is a big orange guy. We gotta talk about it.
New thing happening in the household. Eating cuties.
Yeah,
eating stuff. I got some other stuff on my desk if you're interested. Just a little soccer ball.
Oh, that's nice.
What?
That is nice.
Watch this.
Yeah. There he goes.
Fuck. I got unplugged, boys.
That's okay.
Ben, you're like a big tomato guy.
Who doesn't love tomatoes?
I mean, I think a lot of people don't like tomatoes.
I don't like them.
What about someone like me who doesn't like tomatoes by themselves, but I'll eat it with other foods, like on a burger?
Yeah,
okay, BLT, I'll eat that happily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good
so
for you.
I'm glad we're cool. Yeah, I know they're good for me. I wish I could just pop them like you do.
Flavorful.
Actually, the nutrients in our tomatoes has lessened over the decades.
So there's still some nutrition in it then.
I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, I just want to give the viewers and you guys a fair warning. I have this neighbor upstairs.
Yeah.
He's quite loud when he's doing stuff that frankly I can't mention here. And he makes this noise. Ben,
he's fucking.
Ben, this is a family show. I saw a sailor crawl across your lap, by the way. That was cool.
Yeah, little buddy.
Shout
out to Ben's cat, Sailor.
Shout out, Sailor.
Couple clicks for Sailor.
Yeah. We got any other sound cues on here? Hang on. Here we go.
Look at that boy.
Get out!
Hey, we should probably talk about the Reds, right?
Yeah,
no,
the
wait,
Reds.
I didn't get finished what I'm saying. The guy.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And he goes like this. Ooh, 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 ooh. And he's right above me. I hope you heard that, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's New York, baby.
It's not hot, dude. It's not freaking
I
hot.
can say it's hot.
It happens in my Teams meetings. It's not good.
You have to get a noise gate on that, come on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Anyway, Reds baseball got crushed today, as in Monday, June 30th. We are now the first week of July.
That's right.
This is premiering Tuesday. So we got crushed by the Red Sox. Jeimer Candelario is officially off the team. We knew that was going to happen anyway. What else happened? Tucker Barnhart retired. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, Tucker Barnhart. I mean, I don't think he's been playing. But still sad to see him go. But he had a great career, and I loved him as a Red. And that was the one voice whenever they would have children announce the player at the start of the fifth inning or whatever in the stadium. If they went like, now up, catcher Tucker Barnhart. I'm like, dude, just give that to me. I would love to do it because I do a great impression of the Reds announcer.
Do it.
I would. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, you're talking about the PA guy and the
PA guy. Yeah. Leading off for the Reds, the catcher Tucker Barnhart. Not bad, right?
Are
That's
you
pretty good?
Are you the guy for real?
No. I mean,
no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I want to be the guy.
Could have confused me, man.
I want to be that. Well, I appreciate that. What about
the Yankees guy who does like Derek Jeter?
Speaking of
that
calls,
shit.
I don't love the see ya.
No, I hate that.
I don't love that.
I hate that. I hate to see it.
We heard it. If you maybe watched a recap of one of the Reds Yankees games this past week, you heard Aaron Judge see ya. Like, what is this?
What's wrong with it?
It's like a friend just like leaving the bar, and you're like, see ya. It's like, what? That's not a call.
Yeah, you like George Grand's call. What are we?
Yeah, George Grand had some emotion behind it.
You're a homer.
It's
You're
gonna
just a
be
homer.
gone. No,
Look,
I don't think so.
If the roles were reversed, you'd be like, "Oh, I love to see a call."
See ya? No,
no,
I don't
see
think
it.
so.
No, not even Yankees fans talk about how they like that. I don't think the Yankees fans don't care about that call. I don't think. But that was co-op. We talked about this before. It was co-opted by that guy. He stole it from somebody else.
Who?
I don't know. Pat
Buckles.
Pat Buckles.
Pat Buckles, dude.
See a call baseball. I don't know. Freaking. I don't even go into this. Michael K, dude, you suck. Okay, you're overrated.
Called
He's
out
good.
here.
Hey, I hope you hear this, Michael K. I hope you hear this podcast. That
We'll get him on. We'll get him on.
a
next
couple,
week.
maybe a couple dozen on a good day.
Mhm.
I hope you listen to this, buddy.
Oh yeah, he'll listen to it.
A little overrated.
I think word gets around.
I'm
honestly.
calling all the Yankees fans out. All the Yankees fans who are listening to this. No.
All the Yankees fans watch our video on the Derek Jeter flip play, okay? It's the Shane Spencer dart from right field play. That's what I call it. Here's something that happened. Chase Burns had his first 2 starts of the season. We already kind of mentioned his second start today. He did terribly. He gave up 7 runs. 5 of them were earned, while only getting 1 out in the first inning.
Tipping his pitches.
Tipping his pitches.
Probably,
yeah. He was also just like I mentioned earlier in our chat, he was just like lasering them right over the plate, like high in the strike zone. Just like a gimme pitch every single time. I feel like he was pitching the same thing every single time. I don't know. I think he got flustered because he wasn't in command of his ball. He wasn't really, placing it anywhere meaningfully, like difficult to hit. Is basically batting practice for these guys.
Yeah.
I think it all started after the error, what should have been a double play, that was kind of muffed by Matt McClain. I think that got in his head. He had 2 runners on early in the count or early in the inning. I think he just got a little flustered.
Yeah. Yeah, what can you really say? A young pitcher probably tipped his pitches, had a really bad outing. I don't know. Like I'm not. I said it before his first start. Like I'm not going to lose sleep if he gets shelled. And this is like he kind of rode a fine line the first outing, and this outing he just he completely sold everything. So yeah, it's whatever. I'm not. I think 2 things. I think that it's not a big deal. But I also think this is why you always consider the value of a prospect who hasn't stepped on the mound yet, in relation to what you want as a team, and as far as trades go, or as far as like pieces go. So I'm not saying he doesn't have any value anymore because he still has a ton of potential and things like that. But if we do find ourselves in a situation where he's just not going to make the rotation, which I don't think is true, I think he will probably eventually make the rotation full time. We'll start scratching our heads and being like, damn, like we could have maybe thought about this before we called him up. But we need him now. Hunter Green doesn't come back for probably another week or so. Like Hunter Green has been gone for longer than 2 weeks, I think. So
it's been a minute, I think I saw him in the dugout today, watching the last inning with Trevino come in to pitch for the final out. And when he got a backwards K that last out, it was kind of funny. Just like lobbed a 60-mile-an-hour ball right down the plate, and he didn't get a swing for whatever reason. I saw Hunter Green there. It's like, oh yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. Like it's like
miss him.
Yeah, like seeing an old friend.
Yeah, we need a guy like Chase Burns to kind of fill that role, but he's clearly not. Maybe I mean it's hard to say.
It's one start.
It's the two starts like I said, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. He didn't really have a lot of time in the minors, so he might be a pitcher who needs more time, or he goes out next outing and he throws a shutout. Who knows? So
yeah, I'm glad that he got this out of his system. I think this was going to happen eventually, where he just gets shelled for a game. I'm glad it happened now. Maybe he can just like feel what that feels like, understand those emotions when he's on the mound, and now he has a better chance of overcoming them next time he pitches, and he's in a tough spot because it's going to happen again.
yeah, it happened. It happens to every pitcher.
Yeah.
Green got blown up at least once this year, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. Whatever. I mean, what can you say? Move on to the next game.
His first start was admirable. I mean, he struck out the first 6 or so batters. I think he ended up getting
8.
7 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts. Did he
3
give up a
runs.
couple runs? Yeah. But
4
he
innings,
seemed
5 innings, something like that.
5.
yeah. I think he went 5. And he looked good. I mean,
Against
his
the
fastball
Yankees.
looked good. Yeah, against the Yankees.
Against the
So
Yankees.
That's what I just said, dude. By the way.
against
I
the
was just
Yankees.
reiterating.
Oh, okay. Gives it that impact, Gives it that extra oomph.
In case the
Yeah.
Spotify listeners couldn't hear you.
Yeah, the Spotify
Right.
listeners notoriously have trouble hearing because they always have something in their ears.
Yeah. They don't have to go back. Don't worry. You don't have to go back 10 seconds.
Don't go back 10
You
seconds.
can just, you heard Ben
It was
say, Ben,
it was the Yankees.
thank you. Okay.
It was the Yankees.
Some other notable things that happened over the past week. Nick Martinez went back to the rotation after a short stint as a relief pitcher.
Relief
Almost. Yeah, maybe 2. I remember 1 more vividly, but it was being used in the pen a little bit. I think 8 no-hit innings, almost a no-no. So great performance by him. And here's something that I really wanted to talk about a little bit more substantially is the question of Spencer Steer. I got Shane Spencer on my mind. Clearly,
hold on a second.
I want to talk about Shane Spencer and that fucking
We all
dart
do, but we only have a finite amount of time.
Right. But Spencer Steer named National League Player of the Week. Guys, is he back?
He was for that game.
Yeah.
What?
I'll tell you this. June 1st through the 15th, he was hitting 222, 255 on base percentage, slugging only 311. But then the last half of the month there, let me get this pulled up on the old baseball reference page, hitting 404 average, 408 on base percentage, slugging 766. So that's quite the second half adjustment for him. And of course, he had a 3 home run game a couple nights ago. I mean, this is the kind of guy that we saw years ago, show these numbers, show out a lot in that season. Do you expect this to keep going, or do you expect this to, be a blip on the radar for him this year?
It's really hard to say with how streaky our hitters have been.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not gonna consider really that until I see a few more weeks of solid baseball coming from Spencer Steer. I think he's very capable of having the rest of the year kind of expand and mature. I just don't know if that's going to be the reality, considering how we have had shifts in our lineup. The front of the lineup does well, then they drop the ball, and the back of the lineup picks it up. We got Austin Hayes coming back, so I don't know. I think he's very capable of it. He's shown it in the past. I hope that he can. It seems like he kind of fixed his swing a little bit. He's the first Red to have 3 home runs in a game since guesses?
Derek Dietrich.
Derek Dietrich
No.
never had 3 home runs in a game.
Yeah, he did
Did he
against
not?
the Pirates.
with the
Was it
three? Oh yeah, it was three of the
Yeah.
Pirates. Yeah.
Okay, Suarez.
Nope.
That must have been the 4 then. I'll go
Votto.
with.
Not Votto.
Is he still on the team?
Nope.
Winker.
Winker.
Let's go.
What?
Yeah, it's Winker.
You genius.
And that was like,
Nice.
I think that was 3 years ago. I think that was 2022 or something like, or 21 maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you forget how good he was that year and how like it was tough to see him and Suarez go. And Suarez has continued to play fantastic baseball after all those years. I mean,
Yeah,
good on him. Really.
Gino looks so good, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. You'd love to have that guy on this team right now.
Oh my god,
You'd
man.
love to have that.
Just a solid
veteran
power bat in the
presence.
middle of the lineup, man. That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's realistically what Steer should be at like 28, 29 years old or whatever. However old he is.
Right.
And, you know, his kind of veteran status in relation to the rest of this team, like you want him to take the torch and run with it, and you want to see him become this like staple in the lineup you can rely on for a big hit. I just don't. There's no one really jumps out at me on this roster still. Ellie is like an obvious pick, but there's not the guy like Votto where he gets up and you're like, this could be a hit. This could be a double that clears the bases. You know, there's nobody on the team right now that I'm really that confident in. Just not
I like Lux. I think Lux
has been Lux had the. That's a good point. Lux had the big what was it? The hit against the Padres that tied it. Was that him? Before
no, he walked it off there. He was I believe he's a pinch hit.
Walked it off.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a couple nights before that.
I think
Lux
you're right.
Lux
had a walk off too.
I must have missed that.
A few days prior to that Benson walk off. Yeah, so maybe he is the guy. Maybe he is the guy. We got the All-Star game coming up. Excuse me. We got a lot of the comments that we had on one of our TikTok videos was saying stuff like, you talked about Green and Abbott, and who else did we talk about that episode? Ellie. But we didn't talk much about TJ Friedel, which we did a little. We did a little bit.
Yeah.
But TJ Friedel, and then Abbott, Green. I don't think he's going to be eligible.
No, it's too late now. No,
I don't even know where we're at in the term. I haven't really been paying attention to the voting, but there are some guys that you think they could have probably made the team if they had a little bit faster of a start to the year.
Friedel's had a good year, but he's not an all-star.
Well, and Friedel also, last I checked, at least he was kind of slowing down production-wise. Started off really hot, and he maintained that consistency for a while. And I'm not saying that he's been playing poorly last couple of weeks, but he's definitely slowed down a bit. Last I checked, I mean, we're talking about like all-star. He doesn't scream all-star to me, and that's a shame.
In the outfield,
yeah,
you got so many people to compete with.
That's true. But I mean, the all-star voting, especially the fan voting, is just absolute garbage. I mean, there's no reason that Mike Trout should be on that, on that starting squad whatsoever.
Did he make it?
He at least made like the first batch of voting.
Oh my God.
But there's no reason to see him up there. Love the guy, love him as a player, but I mean, come on, it's just.
I mean, they did that with Jeter his last year. He had like the stats were awful, but obviously Yankee fans are going to vote him in.
I mean, I don't really mind the fan vote because the game is arbitrary as it is. But when they were using it what were they using it for? To designate home field advantage for the World Series for the first two games, I believe it was.
No, it was the whole series.
No.
Yeah.
No, you didn't just play at home for the whole series.
No, but you got home field advantage throughout the World Series. So you played 4 of the 7 games at home.
Yeah. You put your first 2 at home. The next, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't mind it because the game is arbitrary. So you want some of the most popular people in the game as it is. So like, yeah, I want to see.
Yeah,
like,
but if you want to grow the game, you want people who actually deserve to be there representing their team.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but Francisco Lindor and Mookie Betts are not having a better year as a shortstop than Ellie is. And I'm not even being biased. The stats just back it up.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I totally hear you. But I think that that while that is true, I think that growing the game and having integrity in the game are two very different things. Like, I think that, like, if you want to grow the game truly, for every time you can inject Ohtani into something, you're putting him at the face of it. You know what I mean? So in terms of video games, in terms of the All-Star roster, you're going to choose your best people that represent baseball. They might not be having a great year, but if you want to grow the game, I think the marketing problem in the past has been we don't have the personnel that we can market to a global audience or to even a national audience to some extent, because baseball's very localized. You have fans of the Reds and the Twins, but we don't really have like fans of players like we do in NFL. So I think, unfortunately, the fan vote has some credence because you are elevating those people into, very high profile spots within the game that, will say, oh, yeah, Otani's doing the home run derby. Fuck yeah, I'm going to watch that, So it might not be the most, integrity wise decision, but I think it is a decision they're aware of and they want those players in the game.
Oh, of course. Yeah, if you can get players from the big markets, they're going to do that every time. Rob Manfred is super happy that Francisco Lindor is going to be the starting shortstop. And I'm sure Ellie will make the team either way. He'll get voted in, by the players and coaches, I think is what, like, the final spots are, how they do that.
Yeah, I believe there's a player pick. You know what? I should just look all this up. We need to be better about understanding the rules here in the All-Star game.
I'm pretty sure that's how they do it.
There's like a player vote, and then there's a managerial vote or something like that. Okay, so we're in phase 2, which whatever does that mean. Overall, I mean, Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani are the biggest leaders in the vote.
Big surprise.
Right. And well, you can't be upset about that even,
No,
they're having great years.
Aaron Judge is having like a historically good season.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I feel so stupid for discounting Aaron Judge before he got that big contract with the Yankees. Like, I feel like an idiot.
Because was that shortly after his like American League, home run watch season?
Oh, I guess it was before that. I guess it was.
Was it right before that? Oh, okay.
It was before that season because I was like, oh, he's injury prone. He's made of glass. Yeah. He's such a big dude, and here I am looking like a fucking schmuck.
Yeah.
Though, he has not performed in the World Series or the playoffs. I don't know, but World Series, I think he's
not the playoffs either.
Yeah, and that's honestly where like greatness and legends differ.
I think the Yankees would have him have an average year if he could just go fucking ham in the playoffs. Or actually, they would probably trade a bad year for him if he could go ham in the playoffs.
Yeah. He just hasn't performed there yet. But
I don't even know if
still a tremendous player and worth the contract. I'm not disputing that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So far, it's like, yeah, you're spending your money wisely here.
Yeah.
I was describing Juan Soto to my dad, who didn't know about the Mets contract. He's not really plugged into baseball. So I was like telling him when we were at the Mets game, I was like, yeah, he's that guy right there. $765 million. Whatever it was.
Crazy to say it out loud.
Ungodly amount of money.
What the hell?
I was like, remember when people were complaining about Votto's contract?
What was it, 225 or something?
Yeah, it was like under 300. I don't know what it was.
I'm pretty sure it was 225. Like
for
literally
tank for
$500
11
million
years?
less.
Well, people will tell you statistically and analytically, they'll say that that Votto contract was a failure by the Reds. Just from like
Really?
they say
Well,
that.
after he signed that contract, the Reds never made the playoffs again. If I'm not counting the 2020 season.
Right.
Yeah.
So not counting that, they never made the playoffs during that whole contract. Which
I guess
is
you could wait. You could wait. Against,
sad.
it is sad. You could wait against a bunch of different things. Anyway, to get back to the Reds, I don't really know what we're leading. If I don't know how a Red gets in here. One of the Reds obviously will get in. I think it's probably Ellie. And probably
he may be our lone representative. Honestly,
There's no way Abbott doesn't make it.
Maybe
He's going to make it as a reserve.
Yeah,
that could be true.
Yeah, that could be true. But I know that, I've seen it not happen to maybe some deserving players. I think we've all seen that. So I'm not holding my breath. I'm also not that upset by it. It is just a bit annoying when you see someone who's just clearly there because it's the name and not for the performance that season. Should be representative of the best players so far that season, not for how well they've performed in prior years. But I digress. It's fine. I'll find a way to sleep tonight.
I agree. I agree with you,
Yeah.
man. The Reds. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I insist.
The Reds are 44 and 41. We are visiting each other during a time where we are not 500, which is very refreshing.
Mhm.
I think that we've had a really good few weeks of Reds baseball, and that's really weird to say. But there's something that one of you brought up the other day about how we are against the rest of baseball versus our division. Can somebody reiterate those figures to me? What was that?
Yeah, we're 0-8, or what was it?
8-0
in the last 8 series against non-NL Central teams, and 0-5 in our last 5 series against NL Central teams.
That is crazy.
Which is terrible, because those are the series you got to win. You got to beat your division rivals, and they just can't seem to beat. I mean, the Brewers have owned us for years.
Yeah.
Cubs have kicked our ass, and Cardinals have owned us for decades now. It's sad.
And we were talking about the Cardinals at the beginning of the season, saying like this is not a threat. They're not, we should be handily, beating them most games. But here they are. They're like they got hot, even hotter this past week, until they got shut down tonight by the Pirates, because the Pirates are still because they're still rolling from their Mets sweep. It just seems like even when the Reds get hot, everyone else in our division stays hot as well, or gets hotter. The only team that might be faltering a little bit is the Cubs, but they got such a fantastic lead, in the first half of the season, that they can afford to lose a couple series or lose a couple more games than usual, and still be in that first place spot. But it is getting tight. It is tight. Those top 3 teams. I still think the Cubs are gonna, win it out eventually. But the Cardinals are making a case for, a potential wild card spot.
Jeez. Yeah, it's really bad, because all that really matters and all that you can really do as a Reds fan is hope that we get that wild card spot. And we're not gonna win the division. I think that's clear, unless something really magnificent happens after the. I mean, I can't say that, because
still a long way to go. But
still a long way to go. But let's just say,
let's just rosters.
Assume, based on the roster and based on how we play this division, we're not going to challenge the division. So we really need that wild card spot, probably the second one, I'm assuming. So, it does suck, because, if you're losing against your division rivals every single time you jump into a series, it's just, there's no hope to ever claim the Central again, until we figure out a roster combination that works. So it does suck to think that there's only one avenue for us to really get into the playoffs, and that's to snag a wild card spot, and that can be in its own way harder or more of a bloodbath.
That's a 3-game series now, right? They changed it.
It's a 3-game series, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
at least it's not the 1-game playoff anymore, because that's brutal.
The Pirates in 2013.
God.
Just so many more things have to go your way.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like watching every other matchup and seeing like this. These teams need to win out. These teams need to lose out. Beat them eventually. It is a shame that we just don't have that dominance whatsoever. Not that we expected it, really. Maybe we were high on the team before the season started, but now that things have settled in, and they've definitely settled in, I think. It just depends on like, are we going to be able to keep this 500 going, or like a couple of games above 500 and beat out the teams, the Cardinals and the Brewers, enough? Or, are we going to just like fall behind and continue to perform poorly against them? Because I believe I saw this. If we are contentious the whole year, the last 4 series are all against NL Central.
Crazy.
So that's going to be a wild time if we're still kind of like neck and neck with all those teams. It could really come down to the final, 2 weeks of the year.
Just keep winning series. I like where we're headed at. I think we were 14-7 since like June 4th or something before tonight. So we're 14-8. Keep that up for the rest of the year. Solid shot of the playoffs.
Yeah,
I like where we're at.
Yeah, this is a slow burn. This is a very slow burn, and maybe that's a good thing, because maybe we'll jump out in like September or something like that. Who knows? But right now, the wild card picture, way too early to look at this, but we are almost halfway through the season, so maybe something to consider. Before us in this fight, we are 3 teams removed from the third wild card spot.
Second.
Wait.
There's probably just 2 teams tied for the second spot.
Yeah. Okay. So for this, from the second spot. So before us, we have the Giants, the Padres, the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Mets. I guess that should encompass all the wild card spots. Before us, we have the Giants and the Padres, and the Cardinals occupy that second spot. And then above them are the Brewers and the Mets. So that is like so stacked. And we got the Arizona Diamondbacks right below us, the Braves below us. So competing for that spot is so intimidating, rather than just doing your business and getting to the top spot of the NFL.
Just take it a game at a time. Just win as many games as you can.
That's it.
Yeah. The flip side is that we are competing. You couldn't say that years prior, but we are in the thick of it. It's messy, and it's not going to be easy. We're not going to saunter our way into a wild card spot, but there is a definite chance that we can. It's really all going to come down to how much production can we get from Green when he gets back? Is he going to be 100%? Is he going to be pitching like he was the first couple of weeks of the year? And is someone like, Marte really going to come back and be that guy who can consistently get on base? I have a hard time believing, both of those things can come true and be a big enough difference maker. As well as like, we're still competing with guys like CES who continue to like be off and on. Matt McClain has been, having a couple good series, but I don't know if he's still consistent at all yet. There's way too many question marks with those guys.
I mean, I think I said at the beginning of the year, CES, I think we've seen enough.
He strikes out too much.
Seen enough. I've seen enough. I mean, potentially way too early to just cut your losses on him, since he's on the rookie contract. He's young, blah blah. Yeah, it's disappointing. And then Marte, we'll see, I guess. We did have a brief conversation today about the trade deadline. Who it seems to be all signs pointing to the Reds being looking hungry at the deadline and maybe adding some talent. With 3 games above 500 right now, and regardless of how we end up before the All-Star break, we're still going to be pretty close. So I think that the reports out there are saying that the Reds are going to be looking for players. Who do we think the Reds, not who you want, but who do you think the Reds will be looking at?
I mean, the pessimist in me is I said it earlier. We reference our chat a lot. We do talk about this throughout the week.
Yeah.
But the name I always think of is just Sam Mole. We're gonna get another Sam Mole. Like we're gonna get another guy because like Taylor Rogers has not been a great guy out of the bullpen this year. I thought he was gonna be better than he's been playing so far. He's been a big disappointment for me. So I feel like the Reds are gonna be like, hey, look, we're adding some depth into the bullpen. Now, like, you know, if we're winning a game, we can like throw this guy in there and we can get an inning or maybe 2. Like, isn't that great? But that's, you know, that's not one, it's not exciting or flashy, but 2,
Not going to
it's
move the needle very much.
no.
And it really doesn't show the team that the owners are serious about winning, which can do a lot for a team. If you have owners who are like, all right, we believe in this roster, we think you're good, but we're going to bolster it even more. That shows that they believe in you and can, you know, help immensely down the road. I told you guys I think Josh Naylor would be a really good addition to the team. First baseman, move CES out of that spot. CES is the main first baseman, right? Or with Steer.
Yeah, well, Steer is kind of moving to the outfield, I think, and then
Yeah,
CES is going to take.
He was
over
in left
first base.
today.
So yeah, put CES down in the minors. Let him try and figure things out there. Trade for Josh Naylor, whatever. I don't know what it cost, but make an attempt at it. He'd be a big power bat in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's hope that the Diamondbacks continue to lose, and maybe will make the trade a little bit more tempting for them. We'll see.
Yeah,
but we need to spend money. That's the thing. The team needs to spend money. We can give off some, you know, players that we don't really care about, but that's not going to get a good trade. We need to spend money.
Well, I don't know. Can you spend money in the trade?
I think you can lump some cash in with players.
Okay. Because I think most of the trades
we need to like take on some
like,
contract, right?
Maybe
most of the deals I think are
like player for player.
That's
gonna be tough then.
I don't know
that's
how
gonna
much
be tough.
I don't know how much money you can leverage. I don't know like if there's a limit to that. I don't know.
That's gonna be tough.
And you can't trade picks either, like you can in other leagues, which is kind of a bummer.
That is a bummer.
Yeah. Maybe they pulled that Chase Burns card too early then for you, Ben. I don't know.
I think anybody should be on the table here. I mean, look, like every year you should be wanting to win. I'm really tired of like thinking about the future.
Yeah. This prospect will be good in 2030.
It's something to consider. I don't want to discount that. It's really important to be responsible. This is a life lesson, economic life lesson for a lot of people. So if you upscale that to a baseball organization, you don't want to put all your chips in one basket and sell out for the year and bet big, but you also want to try to move that needle. So I think that anything should be kind of on the table at this point.
Especially for a franchise like the Reds, where have so few opportunities to compete to win a World Series. Like when we finally have kind of a chance to compete, you have to go all in. I don't care what it costs.
You have to go in. You have to go in. If that means, man, like if that means we lose Ellie, I know this is. Look. I know this.
No.
I know this is
never
I
happening.
know this is a hot take. I'm not saying, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I'm saying I'm even at the point now. If you do deal Ellie, knowing that big contract is coming up in 2-3 years, and you get like a swath of talent for him, including some veterans, I don't know.
That'd be a hell of a trade.
I don't know.
That'd be a
crazy
deal.
I'm just throwing some things out there that I think
Right.
that
I think
maybe these conversations happen or maybe they don't happen, but I'm thinking like you need to be in the mentality of winning, like in general as an organization. And maybe that changes a little bit with Tito because I think we saw Alexis Diaz get cut. We saw Candelario get cut. Like these are decisions that are made for a winning team. And I've been pretty on board with how things have gone so far from the front office standpoint. I think you just need to consider everything jumping into that trade deadline. And you should do that every year too. And I don't think the Reds have done it that year.
I think the Yankees are more likely to trade Judge than the Reds are to trade Ellie.
I mean, I look, again, I'm not advocating for this. I'm more just kind of being devil's advocate or just putting some things out there that might be options or maybe thoughts that this FO has to go through at some point.
That would set us back.
As painful as it is,
It's-
I've been on the sign Ellie team for the last year and a half. So, and that's another fucking conversation. But what I mean is that you should put all your chips on the table and you should discuss the most ludicrous options just to get them out there and just see
and
what
just work down from that.
and work down and
at what point does it become, you know what? Actually, this is something that we can do. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
The Ellie things, like they'd be shooting themselves in the foot too much doing that. But I do understand that, what kind of pieces do we have besides Ellie? I mean, you have like guys like Hayes and Lux who have been like solid additions to the team. I don't know how much they're really gonna pull for a trade.
Probably not terribly much.
Cam Collier is a pretty highly touted prospect right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a shortstop.
It has to come from the farm, I think. I don't think anybody in this lineup besides Ellie could get you too much.
Right.
Maybe like Abbott or something, but that would be ridiculous, I think, to trade a starting pitcher. So yeah,
well,
I think
here's a
needs to be on the
starting
table.
pitcher. Here's what I'm thinking of. Nick Martinez might be a guy that we can sell a little high on, just for like a push. I mean, he's an older guy, mid 30s, but he's still shown that he can be a capable guy in the rotation. Maybe there's a team that needs to fill that spot, and we can get something out of it. But then we would have to pretty much bet on Chase Burns working out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's
the problem.
Yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be a little scary because I was thinking as you're saying that, I was like, who's our fifth man then? And I didn't even consider Petty because he's not. I don't think I would ever give him the ball for that fifth spot and just be like, this is yours for the rest of the season. Not at this point, maybe in a few weeks, but
But I mean, what we bring back Ashcraft into the rotation, even though I know he's hurt right now, minor injury, I think. But if you don't have much, if you're dealing with a short hand, you're gonna have to make some bets at some point. It's gonna have to happen. So it's either that we're gonna like trade a reliable guy for, a bat that we need, and just hope that the fifth man, this rookie fifth man, works out. I don't know. But I think that might be somewhat of a potential.
Yeah, I see
somewhat
where
of a
you're coming
potential.
from. I see where you're coming from with that. I think I said it to you guys earlier. You said Naylor, but do you think the Reds would really go after Naylor? This organization would really go after Naylor?
No, I don't think they will.
Oh, then who would you think the Reds would actually go after? Just in your most realist perspective.
It's gonna be somebody that's 33 years old and was good 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Guess what I said? Guess what I said earlier?
Go.
Tim Anderson.
I said he's
cheap.
all your ideas are gonna push us backwards.
These are
Hey.
these are. I want to reiterate one more time. Like these aren't my real ideas. This is what I think this Reds organization would.
You
do.
said I predict the Reds are gonna get Tim Anderson.
I predict this front office doesn't have the cojones to do anything more than that. That's what I'm saying. You know, like I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
I would not choose Tim Anderson to be clear.
No, he's awful.
He's terrible, and he got punched in the face, and his career went downhill. You know?
Yeah. Hear me out.
I don't know. I'd have to do some research on players available, and you got to look at the teams who are even selling.
Yeah. Here's the most Reds move that I could think of. Okay.
I love
who do the Reds love? Okay. They love guys at the end of their career, who were good, 3 or so years ago, and cheap. Okay. So older, good years ago, cheap.
Essentially,
who is that right now?
Players.
Giancarlo Stanton.
Anthony Rizzo. Free agent, 35-year-old Anthony Rizzo. He says he still wants to play in the 2025 year. Okay. No one's considering him after the Yankees denied his, whatever year option it was for $15 million. I think the deal was.
I would hate to have Rizzo on the team.
Power bat Anthony Rizzo comes in as a DH first base kind of guy.
I've been booing him for a decade now. There's no way I want him on the team.
But that would be the most Reds move that I could possibly think of.
I think
that would just backfire so much.
Or they get
high risk, high reward. Yeah, maybe.
The two things I want to say about Rizzo is, one, I don't think he'd ever go to a central rival. I think he's the Reds.
No, there were talks that the Yankees were going to deal him to
the what?
To the Pirates.
Oh, okay.
Before the season started, I believe, and then that deal fell through for whatever reason, and then
Rizzo
just denied his contract.
The Pirates.
And two on that, yeah, and maybe, yeah. Two, I think that Rizzo, the Yankees fucked Rizzo up. I don't know if you guys remember that story. He got a concussion, and then he was out there playing every day after that concussion when his symptoms were still prevalent, and he was going out there hitting poorly, not really fielding that well at first base. And then a month later, he finally gets checked up by the team doctors, and he finds out that he has these this sort of diagnosis that is post concussion syndrome. That's not what it's called, but it's something like that, where you get hit in the head so hard that you kind of have these everlasting effects until they're addressed. And if he got hit in the head again, that would have been potentially life threatening or end his career or both. So I think they really fucked him up. I think they didn't really give him I mean, this is maybe a leap, but maybe didn't give him the medical attention that he needed, and that was probably why he was forced to go to free agency. I don't know. It's weird to see that fall off because he wasn't even that bad on the Yankees when he was there for the 2 or 3 years.
I think he had one good year with the Yankees, and then after that, not so much. Yeah, I think there's 3 years. His last 2 years there were nothing to write home about. Maybe barely above replacement level, but not hitting well. Because he was the epitome of a home run or bust guy, especially with the Yankees. I mean, but in a way, that's almost what the Reds kind of want potentially. We don't have if CES is the big power bat that we're touting, then we have a long ways to go. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Is that when CES comes up, I don't see him as this strong guy who's gonna just clobber the ball. He's just gonna miss the ball. I mean, he's had some clutch hits, but I wish the best of him.
Why
I just don't think
so sad? Because
he can't hit the ball.
He gets up there.
He sees the writing on the wall. He knows he's going down. Marte's about to come back. He's going to take his spot.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's having fun. I mean, I guess I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either if I'm hitting 190.
Damn, is it that bad?
It's pretty low now.
Yeah.
He's hitting worse than McLean.
Yeah. Oh no, McLean's doing much better at like 200.
I hope he figures it out.
He's crushing it now.
He's had a better couple weeks, but it's still pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens at the deadline. Tim Anderson coming to be a Red soon here.
Rizzo calling it.
Rizzo.
Sign him up.
Bring in Tim Anderson and Rizzo.
Pete Alonso. The Mets are going to free fall, and they're going to want to get rid of that contract.
You guys are big Pete Alonso heads. You were hoping it was going to happen last offseason.
If the Mets lose the next, 15 games, do you think that's actually possible? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Chase Burns and Collier.
They're not going to lose the next 15 games. So.
I know. I'm just.
But if, oh my God.
15 games. They lose 15 games. You deal Collier and you deal Burns for Pete Alonso.
I don't know. I'd have to know. Do we have the rights to his contract or whatever? Do we have him for 3 years? It's not just a 3-month rental.
It can't be.
Yeah, we'd have to have him for the long term. But
yeah,
it's never gonna happen. So.
We're just talking hypotheticals here. We'll see what happens. The Reds are going to be looking for some players at the deadline. I think that is
just don't get your hopes up.
Probably a fact, but yes.
Just don't get your hopes up. If they make any moves, it's not going to be flashy. It's not going to be what we need. It's not going to be what fans want. I mean, that's what we've seen for the past 5 years. It's not going to happen now. It doesn't matter if they were. It doesn't matter if they were. Well. The big trade I think of is when they got Puig and when they got Bauer. Yeah.
Well,
so besides that, I mean, you could argue that they've made some good moves here and there, but nothing crazy flashy for this high tier big name player.
The wild card them away is Tito, though.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll see how much sway he has. I think that's going to be a big question on a lot of people's minds.
We will see.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's all I got really about everything. Do you guys have anything else?
I'm good.
Just think about Rizzo though. Think about it.
I'll sleep on it.
What are the odds? Give me the odds, Ben.
3%.
That's higher than I thought you would say. He'd be cheap. He wants to
it
play.
Makes sense. It makes sense for the Reds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be interesting.
It's a guy that it ticks all the boxes. It's a name player fans know, cheap, old. Right. He just screams Reds free agent pickup.
He's the next Harrison Bader,
We're past that. We're supposed to be a competent organization now.
We're supposed to be. He's doing a lot of heavy lifting there, Ben.
I miss a big lefty bat, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Rizzo would be your guy.
Yeah. All right, I'm putting the bet down right now. $1 on this.
All right, it's
couple clicks.
For Anthony Rizzo.
All right. I guess last thoughts.
Yeah, I always like to take a look at the games ahead of us. Because
we got Red Sox, we got Phillies, and then we got don't tell me. Red Sox, Phillies,
Cubs.
I know it's somebody and then
Mets.
No, it's somebody and then Rockies.
We have 2
I
more
don't know
games
who.
of this 3-game series with the Red Sox. Then we go to Philly for 3 games. Then the Marlins come to visit for 4.
And then the Rockies.
The Rockies will visit right after them to finish out the set of series before the All-Star break. So, especially, with the Marlins there, the Rockies there, you got some winnable games. But we've seen that the Reds can also play well against good teams like the Phillies. So, I'm not discounting them there either. It's just that there's still a bit of stretch that we have where there's going to be some difficult series.
Yep. We've
Take it
done
one game at a
better in
time.
this stretch. A lot better in this stretch than I thought any of us could have predicted. So,
Oh yeah.
fingers crossed.
That's right. All right, Ben, why don't you sign us out?
Why is it always me?
I don't know.
The fans
funny.
love it.
All right. So we got big day tomorrow in the NHL world. Free agency begins.
Okay.
So it'll be a flurry of activity. I'm excited to watch that. I know you guys will be tuned in.
Sure, of course.
I mean,
Don't say I mean. I know you will.
yeah, true.
That's all I
We'll
got.
be forced to be tuned in because of you.
Mitch Marner got traded from the
Oh,
Maple Leafs today. I'm disappointed.
isn't he a young talent that's supposed to be big?
He's 28, but
Shite.
yeah, it's a bummer. He went to the Vegas Golden Knights.
I hate Vegas, everything. So,
Yeah, that's all I got.
all right. Cool. Let's give us a 1, 2, 3. Hooday.
Hooday, baby.
Good day.